Hey everybody. Recently I did a video on getting some cheap art supplies, and so I did a couple test runs. I just grabbed some of the supplies from Dollar Tree and Joann's and wherever I could get them the cheapest. And I wound up painting these two little paintings here, just more of a sketch just to see how the materials worked. And so I just figured I'd give you kind of my opinion of what I found as I painted. First things first, the previous video I didn't really talk about an easel at all, but I did find this little easel. I think it was 10 bucks from Walmart, and I found it, and it's okay, but to be honest with you, I would tell you to spend a little bit more money on it. Nothing's really glued in together. You can see the pieces kind of really come apart really fast, so it's not like it's that great of a materials. And then on top of that, once you kind of get it all pieced together, on top of that, I did notice like the wood is so thin up here that it's cracking, so eventually you're not going to be able to hold down anything because it'll crack right off. So I would really recommend going with a better easel than this. So the Dollar Tree stuff that I grabbed was, I grabbed a cutting board, glass cutting board, and I used it as a easel, or not, sorry, not an easel, a palette, and it worked really good. I'm really a big fan of the glass palette. It works just amazing, and I can always clean it off down the road here. The other aspect is the brushes. So I went to the Dollar Tree and bought those brushes. Now, it was either hit or miss. About half the brushes that I was actually painting with, they wound up losing bristles left and right. So like I grabbed one and you can like just squeeze and the bristles come off real fast. So the other half of the brushes that I picked up, they were fine. They worked fine for those two paintings. I did notice like the little detailer brush that they had in there basically fell apart within 15 or 20 minutes of working. Some of the bigger brushes that they had basically fell apart too. So it was kind of hit or miss. I would probably recommend going and getting like a pack from Joann's for a little bit more money. The canvases that I grabbed, so I did worked on these cardboard canvas palettes here. They were okay. I didn't really have any issues as far as what I was doing. I mean, I was just creating a quick sketch from these, and so it was perfectly fine. For the dollar, they're perfectly fine for that. I don't know about their lasting quality though, so I probably wouldn't recommend them for anything that you're gonna really sit down and keep for a duration of time. The paints that I used, the paints were from Joann, and they were on clearance for like $6. I think it was like a 12 pack or something along those lines. The problem with them was that I found that the oils didn't really have enough oil in them. They were almost dry, and so no matter, I kept mixing linseed with it to really kind of get a little bit more creamier effect. And then I also did the mineral spirits as well to kind of thin it out as well. And it just, like I said, it wasn't, I think it was a combination between the paint being not having enough oil and the pigment just wasn't as bright as like a more expensive version. I think Grumbacher's, which is what I normally kind of play around with, Grumbacher's has got a little bit brighter pigments, and so I noticed that my color palette just kept dulling out, if that makes sense. The other aspect that I had, the mineral spirits that I picked up from the hardware store worked perfectly fine. The only thing that I really didn't go kind of inexpensive with is I used the refined linseed oil, and I think that was my only thing that I didn't use. So I'm going to give you the kind of process here as I walk through these. I'll just show you what I was painting, and I picked the images up from Sketchy, so that was a quick and easy way to pick up some portraits from that app. So take a look, and if you like it, subscribe. All right. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Check out my other videos as well as hit that subscribe button. Thanks much, guys.